We're gonna get right into it, folks. You read the title. I know who's gonna be the next president of the United States. You know it as well. You might feel it in the air. You might feel the momentum. Kamala Harris is gonna win all the swing states from Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina, and Iowa. This was not my position a couple days ago, but I believe yesterday or 2 days ago, a poll just came out, a reputable poll from Iowa that has been very accurate in predicting how the state would go from presidential elections to midterms. And people were looking at the poll when it was coming out to see the sort of status of the nation, to see where people are at. Iowa is traditionally a red state, so say it was +3 Trump. Well, Trump won more than +3 in Iowa in the past, so that would be a bad sign for Trump nationally. People did not expect that the poll would then find Kamala Harris winning Iowa. Now, is one poll enough to decide a whole election? No, of course not. But there's reasons beyond just the polls to assume this. But first of all, I want to compare this election to previous elections, starting with 2020. She would be actually making some gains from the Biden win. Biden might have won the important swing states like Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, but she'd be adding North Carolina and she'd be adding Iowa. Now, why is she adding North Carolina, folks? The guy running for governor is a disaster, is a joke. It's Mark Robinson, who before the controversy of him being shown on porn sites calling himself a black Nazi, among many other ridiculous shit, he was already a controversial guy. He was already a very radical Republican that wasn't going to help chances and definitely is not going to be helping the Republicans turn out in North Carolina. Meanwhile, the Kamala campaign has been putting a lot of energy, a lot of focus in North Carolina, and so is Trump. But Kamala does not have a Mark Robinson suppressing Democratic voters, essentially, suppressing Democratic excitement in the state of North Carolina. So she's going to get that, a state which Biden only lost by less than 1%, or actually a little bit more than 1%, but very close. I think she got that. Iowa was a massive percentage difference. The fact that the recent poll that came out, again, I believe it's the Seltzer poll, very reputable, very accurate in the past, showing Kamala at +3? That doesn't just reflect on Iowa, folks. That reflects on the nation. That says the people are tired of Donald Trump. That says Donald Trump has been running an objectively bad campaign, which if you see my videos, he has been doing. He's been making mistake after mistake after mistake. Has Kamala had the most perfect campaign ever? No. I think the Israel issue is a big concern, especially in a place like Michigan, an important swing state. But if she wins these other swing states, even if she loses Michigan, which I don't really see happening, she can still win. It would be nice if she changed her Israel position. But when it comes to just how the campaign's been being run generally, think, for example, compare Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's choice in vice presidential nominees. Kamala Harris made an excellent choice in Tim Walz. He's a great communicator. He's the most popular guy in the race, more than Trump and JD, more than her. That's a great asset to have. Meanwhile, Donald Trump made the choice to pick JD Vance, who is the most disliked among the four of them, who early on in his position as being the VP nominee had scandal after scandal after scandal every other day, is so dislikable, so uncharismatic. So things like that. I mean, Trump's not campaigning as much as he used to. Trump is refusing to do the sort of pseudo fake populism he used to do in 2016. He can't say anything policy related besides due to tariffs and due to mass deportations. That's it. He can't talk about foreign policy without saying, well, you know, all the issues in the world just wouldn't have happened with me in charge because I'm actually perfect. And when I'm in there, folks, I'm just gonna fix it. That's not an answer people want to hear, folks. That doesn't help him. He's been running a horrible campaign, but I'm curious though. I want to show how Kamala Harris's eventual victory will compare to Obama's in 2008. Obama will have gotten more electoral votes. He won Ohio and Indiana. The reason I bring up 2008 is because this was the last time, I believe, a Democrat has won in Iowa and a Democrat has won in North Carolina. And I think it will say a lot about the mandate that Kamala Harris is going to have going into the White House if she gets margins like this. Now, is this like a landslide, the Kamala Harris potential landslide here? Is this something like what Franklin Roosevelt got, or what Reagan got, or like what Richard Nixon got? No, of course not. But in the modern partisan context which we're all living in, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. When it comes to the Senate, I just want to add this a little bit. I think the Democrat in Montana, I think he's being counted out a little bit too much. I think he's going to keep his seat. He's the incumbent. With Nebraska, there's an independent fighting the Republican, and many polls have shown the independent ahead. He has a magic about him, and the Republican does not. I think he's going to be winning that Senate seat, and he's going to caucus with the Democrats because he's a union guy. He cares about workers, and the Democrats govern in a pro-worker way. He's going to govern with them. I think Sherrod Brown's going to keep his seat in Ohio. I think Carrie Lake in Arizona is a dipshit and a MAGA sycophant. And I think Ruben Gallego is gonna beat her, and she's gonna lose again like she lost in 2022. If we're optimistic, maybe we could see the fella from Texas beat Ted Cruz, but that's asking for a lot. And as a Floridian, I don't know if our Senate candidate really excited the people enough to actually beat the Republican incumbent Rick Scott. But folks, that's my prediction. Kamala Harris is gonna win. Donald Trump ran a horrible campaign. He lost the sauce. He's tired. There was that one point where he was just dancing on stage for like 40 minutes in the town hall where he was supposed to be answering questions. He confused literally everybody in the room. Guys, this is a joke of a campaign that he ran. It's a joke of a campaign. And he was the favorite from the start. Now I'm curious though, before I finish, how is MAGA gonna react to a loss like this? Not just a loss, not just a tight loss, but a loss like this. Because it's going to make Biden's popular vote look kind of small when it comes to the gap in the popular vote. And obviously, electoral college-wise, it's a pretty decent sized victory. I'm very excited for tomorrow. That's what I can say.